So today you get 3 reviews for the price of 1. But you don't charge for reviews, so it's really just 3 reviews for the price of none. Shut up, other me, who sometimes interjects opposing comments in my videos when I have no other idea for a joke and stands on the opposite side of the screen. You know what? Fine, but the next time you need me to interject comedy in one of your videos, you'll have to find someone else. So this was a big weekend for movies to come out, or really just a lot of movies that came out this past weekend, and I was away. I was kind of, down on the beach for vacation a little bit, so I saw the movies, but I did not have a chance to review them, so I'm playing catch-up here, and I decided rather than try to make a bunch of different individual videos, I just throw them into one, and it'd be easier for you guys too. The Help is an inspirational movie based on a book about prejudice. Now, how original, I know, but this movie actually does manage to feel quite genuine. This is mainly due to the really good performances throughout the entire cast. The scripts and the direction are decent, but what really makes this movie good is the actors. They take these situations, they take these sets of dialogue, and they make them feel real. They have great interaction with one another. It just feels like these are real people in real situations, which makes you feel for them. Points for Bryce Dallas Howard for just playing that smiley bitch. You know, the person who's just kind of happy because she knows you're screwing with you. Oh my god, she's like a skinny racist Umbridge. Actually, no, the only difference is body weight. She's just a skinny Umbridge. This kind of performance in the movies what really propels it, because then it kind of gives you a motive almost to care about these characters, because you dislike her character so much. You kind of root for everybody else by default. And then, on addition, you have that great performance by Emma Stone. I really gotta hand it to her, too, because she, in all of her movies, she always gets a little bit of drama and handles it very well. But here, she really gets a moment to shine. And I've always thought she's a great actress, and I think here is one of her best performances to date. And Viola Davis always tugs on my heartstrings. Then there's Octavia Spencer, always just seems to get mixed-matched roles, and she's a good actress. I mean, she can be very funny, I've seen that, and here she can be very dramatic, and I feel like she's slightly underrated and underused. For a movie with a 137-minute runtime, it keeps you entertained the whole time. At least it did for me, because I felt like these are connectable characters, I latched onto and you can care about. So, for the, I know I said that the direction and the writing were decent. No, they were very good. I just feel like the performances in this movie really stood out to me, and they were great. And for that, I'll give this movie an 8 out of 10. Oh, won't you stop f***ing smiling? Next up, 30 Minutes or Less. I was very much looking forward to it. I thought it had a great cast, just looked really funny, had an interesting concept, and yet the movie didn't completely deliver. Ha-ha, pun win. Get it? 'Cause pizza. When this movie is funny, it is hysterical, and it's actually pretty consistently funny throughout. But the problem is it loses sight of what it wants to be along the way. It doesn't want to be really over-the-top, crazy, anything-goes humor. It doesn't want to be clever humor. Unless it's satire, that usually doesn't turn out so well, because then when you try to be clever, it just comes off as stupid, and then you look pretentious for thinking you're being smart, which is a really pretentious thing to say, but still. And I like the cast, individually I all like them, and they work fairly well together. They have a nice comedic chemistry. Danny McBride, Aziz Ansari, Jesse Eisenberg, Nick Swartzen, but for some reason I feel like they didn't reach their comedic potentials. Like, it could have been so much better at times. While a lot of times it's hysterical, a lot of other times it just comes off as annoying and obnoxious. Probably like this review of my self-deprecating humor. Ruben Fleischer, this is only his second feature film to date. He came hot out of the gates with Zombieland, and very good. Hopefully he can get back on track. Wow, I fell ass backwards into that pun. Get it? 'Cause it's like a racetrack and gates, yeah. So 30 Minutes or Less has a great cast, has a great setup, and therefore great potential. And because of all those things is why it is most disappointing, but still enjoyable. I'll give it a 6.5. If you want to have fun, go watch it with some friends. Probably wait till DVD, pop it in there, on Friday night, enjoy yourselves. Gawk at its ridiculous raunchiness with some pizza and beers. So lastly, I save this one for last. Oh, God, no, no! punched myself in the face. Get it? Because punted. I gotta stop. I'm addicted to puns. I didn't even get through that pun, so it's probably why you're confused right now. Because the last movie I'm gonna talk about is Final Destination. So yeah. Okay, so Final Destination. Stop. Just stop. I don't even get it. The movies aren't even that successful to warrant sequels. Okay, the first one, I can understand making the trilogy, just going through with it, fine. But then you had to make The Final Destination, and then just make a fifth one, and not even, like, explain why the last one was called The Final Destination. Really? Because then it's just Final Destination 5. Like, screw off the fourth entry, but I would want to forget about that too, so. What's sad is this is actually kind of better than The Final Destination. Actually, it's probably better than the third, fourth, and maybe even the second one, but it's still just so ridiculously tedious at this point that I can't even stand it, even if it's not as bad as the other ones. I still don't want any more. You know, just because this one's not quite as bad does not warrant any more movies. You know, we get it. With today's technology, you can make ridiculous ways in which people die and make it extremely graphic, but it just stops getting entertaining after a while. After the first one onward, the deaths started getting more ridiculous and the story started getting worse and worse. And you know what, I'm not expecting like a really captivating story walking into these movies, but it would be nice if they tried. First one, which I do watch every now and again, just on a rewatch, because, you know, it has a really interesting concept. For a while, even though the deaths were really contrived and just totally impossible, I could still bear through it because the way the story was explained was actually really cool. You know, the concept, the death is coming for you, there's this pattern and this plan. I thought that was really interesting, and I don't know why they didn't just keep going with that. Give Final Destination 5 the fact that it is probably better than the last two, but it still just sucks. It's just the same shit. It's just these annoying, obnoxious teen kids, young adults who are just arrogant and obnoxious and oblivious. Like, just this, oh god, like the most retarded shit they do. Half the shit, like, I know teens and, you know, that age group just do stupid things, but at some point you're just like, no, these people can't exist. Douchebaggery on this level can't be possible. Just keep doing it. I'm like freaking out, but those things, like the fact that they just make these characters so unlikable, at least for the past couple films, makes me not care when they die. I don't care at all. Like, I don't know if that's what you're going for. If so, awesome, great job. I hate every fucking one of these people. But if you are trying to make these characters likable, so when they die, you're like, oh, it's not working. It is not working. And it's a bridge collapse. It's not even that cool. I mean, okay, airplane. Alright, whatever. You know, giant traffic accident. Oh, okay, whatever. Roller coaster, awesome. You know, raceway, speed track, crazy, ridiculous thing. No. Bridge collapse? Come on. You say that shit for disaster movies. I mean, give the bridge a break. It just got attacked by a horde of intelligently advanced apes. It's not even close to the same bridge. And I'm really taking my anger out on the series as a whole at this point, because it's just gone on too long. I'm sick of these movies, and I'll give this movie that. It is not nearly as bad as the last movie, or even the third one. It's really not all that terrible put together, but I'm done with this series. Lawrence Fishburne is in this, and I did not like him at all. It's more towards walking down the path of the first movie, which I like, because I think the first movie is a pretty decent movie, but at the same time, you know, just because it gives that effort doesn't mean it really pays off all the time, but it still gets points for effort. And they fuck with Kansas. You know, fuck with Kansas. I mean, okay, well, I don't even like Kansas that much, but they use Dust in the Wind, like, throughout this song, this movie, and it's just kind of like, alright, it's a deep song about mortality, and this is not a deep movie. If this came out like 3 movies ago in the series, I probably would have enjoyed it or liked it much more. But the fact is that there's really no saving this series for me. There's no resurrecting this franchise. You know, because if you're a fan of it, you're going to go see it anyway. You're going to go see all of them as long as they come out. That's just the way you are. If you're not, just don't go see it. It's as simple as that, and I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I know there are a lot of Final Destination fans out there, and please don't get pissed at me, because yes, this is a lot better than the last couple movies, surprisingly, but, you know, I'm really just not going to get back into it. Enjoy it. If you enjoy these types of movies, that's great. You're probably just sick of listening to me at this point for this 3 review video. I'm probably sick of listening to myself, too. It's just tell me what you thought of how I balanced it or whatever, because it's actually quite difficult to put that many reviews into one video, because thoughts get jumbled and stuff like that. But for this weekend's releases, I will be going back to my original form, and I will be back more consistently. I'm sorry. See you guys later. Tell me what you thought of these movies. No, wait. Come back, other me. But it's you, so you probably could just make this happen. 'Cause I'm you. We're the same. I'm gonna leave.